Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Again, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can also watch us on YouTube. We appreciate you. All right, so have you heard of quiet quitting? For the last few days, this term has been trending on social media, while not being exactly sure what it means. But the new workplace concept has become so popular that it's changed the workforce forever. Quiet quitting is the new job trend that has quickly caused many to rethink their current work-life balance and prioritize themselves above their occupations. The Hill reports social media is well known for determining trends, and the latest could have a drastic impact on current workforce. The term quiet quitting is a new job trend that has inspired a host of opinions, think pieces, and some soul searching as it relates to your current job. Despite its name, quiet quitting doesn't actually involve quitting at all. Instead, it essentially means no longer going above and beyond at your job and only doing what you are required to do. Led mainly by millennials and members of the Gen Z, quiet quitting experts say is direct result of extension of last year's Great Resignation, where in the U.S. saw workers leaving their jobs in droves. According to recent surveys conducted by Resume Builder, close to 25% of workers between ages of 35 and 44 revealed that they would likely practice quiet quitting. Heightened by the pandemic, the strive for work-life balance is a higher importance than ever, as many workers no longer want to give it their all at their work at the expense of their personal lives. Additionally, the new work trend involves putting physical distance between yourself and your job, including acts such as closing your laptop or leaving your desk immediately when work is over. Furthermore, people are rejecting the decades-long idea that continuous hustling in your career will automatically guarantee them a promotion or more money for working beyond the requirements of their job. So pretty much you're saying you come to work, do the bare minimum, go home, and you're done. My social life and my home life is more important than what I'm doing at work. Now, I've heard people talking about this on the news, and these people who, have been in their career for 30-some years, and they just can't fathom that because they were used to grinding, working hard, hitting deadlines and trying to expand their careers. But Lynia, what do you think about this quiet quitting trend?
Oh, I could wait for you to come to me. Thank you, Jesus. All right, then let's talk about it. Listen here. Now, I first saw this article last week, right? But then my boyfriend sent it to me today because I hadn't talked about it with him. So I read it. I said, oh, this is interesting. And then as I read through it, I said, well, shit, I quiet quit my job years ago. Because I don't like these people. And, I have gone above and beyond at my job. I've implemented systems and procedures to make things run efficiently. So when I'm not there, that you are good. I have gone about it the right way in regards to, more money, because I put in this and I've done this, and you see the result. Customers love me. I still ain't getting no money. Okay. Like I said, I quiet quit a long time ago, but right now, I super quiet quit. That's why Chike over there dying, because he know I leave early, I come in late, close all of it down. Somebody called me today. I said, listen, I'm getting ready to leave. You're going to have to call me tomorrow. Oh, okay. Nope. Talk to you tomorrow. I got to go. Time. I don't go in no earlier than what I need to. And I make sure I leave on time. Actually, I probably leave a few minutes before my quitting time. Because I don't care. I absolutely don't care. Y'all don't care. You don't care. So to those who are quiet quitting their jobs, I say to you, be strong so you can eventually quit for real and live your life. I'm living mine in between. Good, my TED Talk. Thank you.
Nayyir, what is your take on this quiet quitting trend?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting when I saw that. And you're right. The Gen Zs and the younger generations, I hear them say it all the time. They say, I don't work overnight, overtime, or over the weekends. They are adamant about that because they see that you don't necessarily guarantee success that way anymore. And more information is getting out into the public. More and more information is making it out to individuals who didn't normally have the information. So people are finding ways to make their money work for them so they don't have to work so hard. People want freedom of location. They want freedom of time. They want freedom of finance. So they want to be able to travel and do things, socially and personally that no one would dream about or could even imagine, in the 80s, unless you were of the super wealthy. But now you can make, 50, 60, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 or more a year and live a really nice life, well-traveled and otherwise, so I don't blame them. That model needs a wake-up call.
Yeah. Chike, your thoughts?
I just want to say most of my laughter in a week comes from Lynia and the stories about at her job. So that's why I started laughing the whole time you were reading that.
You already know.
It was her. So I would like to believe that I quiet quit from the hospital. And Lynia knows my story there. I was slowly but surely like halfway out the door, to the point where I was working every other day. That's how it went. I was in every other day. And then I migrated to where I am now. That old adage of get a career, work it, and then you retire doesn't exist anymore. People are finding ways to make money elsewhere outside of the 9 to 5, quote unquote. They can probably make more money on the side doing something that's remote and more entrepreneurial than actually working for a company or an establishment or another person. I think most of the time when people work for a company or anyone else for that matter, it's probably for benefits, not necessarily for money. And that's the growing trend. So many people are going to remote working and they're keeping brick and mortar, workplace because they want the benefits that come with working with large companies. And once they find a way around that, I don't think it's going to be a thing anymore. So new age.
New age. Let me tell you, I was promoted earlier this year to a manager role, and I have a few 20 people in their 20s, Gen Z, on my team. And so this one girl, I was pretty much promoting her in a sense, and she was very excited. And I called her it was right at 5 o'clock, called her to tell her the good news. She was very excited. Oh my gosh, yes. The next day she messaged me if I had time to talk about what we discussed. I said, sure. So she called me. Hey, I'm very excited about the position. I think it's a great opportunity. I just wanted to kind of set a precedent. I don't plan on working a whole lot of overtime, weekends, late at night, because the person who was in the role did that. She said, I don't even have email on my phone. I just want to set that expectation. I said, oh no, it's not a problem. But the fact that she wanted to make sure before she took this role.
Well, who does that these days? Who does that?
Don't expect it.
Can I just say, I don't have my work email on my phone either. Once I leave from there, there ain't no reason for me to talk to you people. And everybody else does. Like they check their email from their phone. Are you crazy? Y'all, I stop at 4 o'clock and I don't do weekends with y'all. I do weekends with what I love, period. And I do what I love while I'm there. But that's beside the point. I will say this, and I feel like with COVID, even more, that became even more of a thing because of COVID. Because COVID, even though, you know, COVID it did what it did, it showed people, you know what? I ain't gotta deal with them people like that. I can find a way to survive, because that's what people had to do. They had to survive, especially for people who couldn't go to work. They had to figure it out. Like, wait a minute, just the same way that people was firing people during COVID. Well, COVID actually, if people really looked at it, it may have been a bad thing, but it was also a good thing if you used it to your advantage. Period. Let me take some classes, let me do something, you know what I mean, so I can elevate myself in a way to where I can run my own thing and do what I need to do. So I consider COVID being like somewhat of a partial catalyst, because some of that had already started before, but COVID
even more so
helped to really propel it even more.
I agree. I totally agree. People start looking at their lives and thinking, what's important? You know what I mean? What's important? So I definitely get it. All right. Well, the White House is not the one or the two, apparently. And they had time today, as they say. So on Twitter account, they called out some Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Mike Kelly, and others who criticized the student loan forgiveness. However, the Republicans forgot that they were forgiven for their Paycheck Protection Program, also known as PPP loans. The Biden administration started listing out the amount the loans forgiven. The account shared a video of Representative Greene speaking negatively in a Newsmax interview on last Wednesday, saying the debt cancellation was completely unfair. This for the government just to say, you know, okay, your debt is completely forgiven. It's completely unfair. When they posted that video, they also said Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene had $183,504 in PP loans forgiven. Republican Mike Kelly was also called out after he tweeted, asking plumbers and carpenters to pay off the loans of Wall Street advisors and lawyers isn't just unfair, it's also bad policy. But I guess he forgot that he had been forgiven $482,321 and forgiven. So they did that with a lot of the Republicans who were, you know, on the shows doing interviews, saying, well, you know, it worked for you when you needed it. During the recent press conference, Biden got snappy with a reporter who pressed his buttons. He also clapped back at a reporter who asked about the fairness of student loan forgiveness. So isn't it interesting, Nayyir, how these people soon forget that, and the amount they were forgiven for was a lot more than college tuition. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, millions. Some of them were forgiven for millions of dollars, you know, or some of these companies.
Yeah.
And you know, businesses, you know, they got away with murder. So I don't know what the fuss. Yeah, you know, I feel we just got it all backwards, man. We got it all backwards. You know, I'm it hurts me to hear that this is even something that the White House got to clap back on. You know, this is all backwards. You want your nation to be able to empower the individuals who are trying to do something with their careers and lives. That allows us as a nation to even be in the fold, you know, long term. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy. And I saw the clap. I saw Biden's response, and I thought it was pretty good. Sleepy Joe did all right that time.
Sleepy Joe, he woke up for that one.
He
But it's interesting how, you know, it's these officials. It's like they're not really for us. What they're doing, they're about making sure the other one's not successful. So like student loan forgiveness should be a benefit for whoever is, you know, as a recipient of it. It's a good thing, but because it's a Democratic policy,
right?
That's horrible. You know, it's not about the people, it's about being right. And I think that's where politics is messed up. It's messed up a lot of ways. Chike, what are your thoughts on this clapback by the White House?
So it's not like they're taking money and putting it in anybody's pocket.
Right.
They're forgetting debt.
Right.
You already didn't have the money. You still don't have money. It's just you don't owe money.
Right.
But you can give the airlines $50 billion. You can give it to them for them to still act crappy. I don't get that. You're not
Mhm.
upset at that.
Right.
Is it the fact that some of this will help out people that happen to be darker in you? Like, I'm not understanding. What's the giddy up? I
Yeah.
just don't understand. Or is there some shadiness or crookedness up the ladder that someone's not going to get paid because they pulled some type of scam to reap the benefits of these people being in debt?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Lynia, what are your thoughts on this?
Um, me being a person who has student loan debt, and how in the beginning they literally would rather try to leave you homeless than work out any type of arrangements with you, and having to fight with these people to make some kind of arrangement that is reasonable for people to pay back their student loans
Right.
is ridiculous.
Mhm.
I went through it. It took a long time for me to get to the point that I got to. And
Mhm.
actually, thanks to the student loan doctor, they were able to help me out in getting lower payments, because them people wasn't trying to give me, you wanted to take, and this is when my son was younger. I still had a kid in the house, and and you want me to pay you back damn near what my rent was. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. And I so appreciate, because I can't wait until I can do whatever I need to do to get this up off me. Because I got it down to a certain point. I said by a certain point, I'm trying to have it paid off. Because
Yeah.
the inside joke is we got this shit until we dead.
Yeah. Most people say
So
that too.
most people. So I appreciate. And I swear, I think it's a Black person that's running the White House Twitter, because when they started running down them receipts,
Yes.
it was the funniest thread I had ever seen in my life, because it was like they showed the video of the Republican talking crap, then they show, oh, well, this is what they had forgiven. Bam. Oh, you want to talk junk too? Bam. They had a whole list, and bam, here go, bam.
Yep. Yep.
So you mean to tell me y'all got y'all PPP loans forgiven, and y'all have a problem with, and it's not like a lot of people have more student loans than what you can be forgiven for. Thank God I don't, but a lot of people have more. I want to go back to school, but guess what? I ain't taking out that little loan. I bet you I'll take one class every semester. I'll pay for it out of pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Same here. Same here.
You couldn't pay me to take out another student loan. You could not, but we didn't know. Nobody, because they pushed it on us. You talk crap about us, but you pushed it on us to take it so you could keep us in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're right. I'm about to apply. Thanks, Joe.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Our last story, real quick. So Shaq has been open about the theory that the earth is still flat, and looks like he hasn't changed his mind over the years. After a recent trip across the globe, Shaq told the Jackie O show that the theory of the earth being round can't possibly be true. On top of his cynicism about the earth's shape, he also shared his doubts about whether or not the planet spins. He said, I flew 20 hours today. Not once did I go this way. I flew straight. I didn't tip over or go out upside down. It's still a straight line. You don't go under. They say that the world is spinning. I've been living in the house on the lake for 30 years, and not once did the lake rotate to the left or right. The two-time Hall of Famer and businessman previously explained this theory while speaking with John Candide on his podcast, The Big Podcast with Shaq. Listen, there are 3 ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear. In school, first thing they teach us, Columbus discovered America. But when we got there were some fair-skinned people with long hair smoking on peace pipes. So what does that tell you? Columbus didn't discover America. I drive from coast to coast, and this is flat to me. I'm just saying. I drive from Florida to California. all the time. It's flat to me. I don't go up and down at a 360-degree angle and all this stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? Shaq is not the only celebrity on a list of folks who believes the earth is flat. NBA star Kyrie Irving, rapper B.O.B., and former Jets QB Geno Smith shared the same sentiments a few years back. Chike, what's wrong with these people?
Why me? Why? Why?
What's wrong with these people?
So, Shaquille O'Neal, if I was to start at Kansas and I head east and I continue east without stopping and I continue to go, I'm going to wind up in Kansas again. How do I do that if the earth is flat? How can you go around the flat world? You can't. How do you explain the caps? What are the caps? They're the cap of what? A flat plane? Like what? Planes don't have caps, bro. And you're these people have a platform that younger people who need education and guidance look up to. Stop this idiocracy. Stop it. You're dumb. You're dumb. And it's actually upsetting. It makes me mad that you're stupid. It's making me mad. Like this is dumb. Like, are you doing it for publicity? This is like stupid.
But a lot of people think that he was just joking, but he keeps double down on this theory. What are your thoughts on Shaq and his we're on a flat earth?
You know, when I get on a plane, right? I don't know whether that plane going straight, round, diagonal, whatever. All I know is when I get on, and as soon as I sit down and I get nice and comfortable, I go to sleep. That's what I know. And then I'm in my destination. That's all that I know. I don't know if they going to revert. I don't know nothing. But what I do know is sometimes when I like to look up at the sky, it looks like it's going around. That's what it looked like. It looked like it to me. You know what? You know who he reminds me of?
Oh.
Beaky Buzzard. You know who that is? The Looney Tune character that be like, my mama done told me to do something in her.
Yeah.
Listen, people gonna think what they want to think, but no. See, this is how misinformation is put out there, and then these millennials are eating it up like it's real because they're not doing research. Because it's like, oh well, such and such said that's what it is, and he rich. And it's because he rich, because he been all over the world. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna stay over here in my little chateau.
Nayyir.
Man, I'm gonna try to keep it short. One, I think he's trolling, even though he's doubling down. He has to be trolling for me. Two, Shaq's father was a Muslim, and I'm a Muslim. Usually I don't share that personal view, but I'm a Muslim, and it's in our scripture that the earth is egg-shaped. It's actually in the Quran. Quran been written for 1,400 years. And when the world thought it was flat, the scientists and everyone said the earth is flat. And then the Quran was always saying, earth is egg-shaped. It was created this way. And then scientists eventually caught up and said, oh, wait, it's not flat. It's this, That's number two. Number three, I just don't, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I think, like you said, someone with such a platform, you shouldn't even troll on that level. You shouldn't even troll with this type of information on that level, even though it's not going to make or break somebody's career or life. It's just a silly thing. It's a silly thought, after so many major years of research, so much science behind it, so many prolific scientists behind it. Not the flat earther people. None of them are prolific. I'm talking about the real validated scientists in the world, in the field. So, you know, man, it's just crazy. I don't think much of it, and I really hope he's just trolling, but he should be trolling on that level with this type of information with that platform. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
Can I add this, Stephen, before we get out of here? I've noticed since that man was in office that it's been a stronger push to rewrite history.
Mhm.
And in a number of areas, in various areas, there's been a certain effort to rewrite history.
Yep.
They're doubling down on lies, they're doubling down on misinformation to rewrite the past to give a new future. And I just want people to be aware of the information that they pull in. I know you hear it every day with misinformation, if this is a lie and that's a lie, but it's bleeding over into areas that do not seem important. But the fact that it's happening makes it important enough. If it happens anywhere, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like a virus. If it
Yeah.
starts here, it's going to spread somewhere else, then it's going to get bigger. And the next thing you know, we're living in a space where nothing is real. Nothing.
Right.
Just be careful.
Very true. Yeah, there was one school they were trying to change the word slave to something about
Involuntary.
Involuntary service or help. Some
Yeah.
slave.
Almost cussed.
Yeah.
Almost cussed.
Well, listen, thank you all so much for Hot Topics. As always, Lynia and Nayyir. Check out CM movie reviews. And when we come back, the talented Tanya Nolan right back after this.
Let's do it.
I forgot to shout out Amanda Seals, child, because we talked about this